Sun shines at day, moon shines at night. Like that, we should shine in our lives. Have a good morning. Good morning to one and all. Now we are going to see the chapter Coal and Petroleum, fifth chapter in Science Class 8B. Now, come to the lesson. Before we start, we discuss a little bit. Okay, so where we get petroleum. Okay, we discuss basics. Okay, we have candles, which is lighted up. So, where we get these candles and the plastics and some other materials made about petroleum. So, we are going to see where the what is petroleum and what is coal, and more things about petroleum and coal in this lesson. Okay. Before, petroleum and coal is a fossil fuels, right? Petroleum and coal is a natural, produced by naturally. So these are formed by dead remains of plants and animals. So what is fossil fuels? Fossil fuels produce natural from the dead remains of plants and animals that got buried under the soil between rocks is called fossil fuels. They take millions of years to produce these fuels. They are also stores and create energy. They give us light when we burn, right? Natural gases. We get gases when we burn. And example, coal gas. We will see about coal gas in below. Okay. Next, coal. Coal is a black colored hot rocks, can be burnt as a solid fuel. You know, some trains will steam trains will travel using burning these coals, and we can't see now because now all our electric trains and diesel trains are going. Before, in 1918, on that period, we can't see in 20th century, in 18th century, etc. And now we can see that the natural coal is carried by the goods train. We can see they covered these natural trains and natural coal by sheets in and carry them in train. I think you can see it carefully. Okay. Formation. Formation of coal. Coal is formed over a period of million of years from dead plants that get buried inside the earth. The dead plants and animals are buried of nearly 100 million years due to high pressure and high temperature inside the soil, which is covered by rocks. Okay, how the vegetation convert into coal? It is simple, but it takes lot of years, lot of million, 100 million years, near about 200 or 100 million years. In dinosaur period, we get in dinosaur period the dinosaurs and big trees were buried under the soil due to earthquake, tsunami, landslide, etc. By we get petroleum and coal today is the formation of dead plants in that million of years ago, the dinosaurs which died is converted coal and petroleum which we use today. So, what happened? It exhausted. Don't worry, we will be discussed. Okay. Next, this process of conversion of wood into coal is called carbonization. In when we burn the unwanted woods, dry woods, we get the half burned like coal, but it's not charcoal. It's not original coal. It's like we use it to iron the cloths. On that basic purpose, it will be used. That process is called carbonization. Carbonization means converting the dry woods into normal coal is called carbonization. The period during which this process of coal formation take place is called the Carboniferous age. That period when the steam trains are using the steam trains run with uh, coal. The coal is full of carbon, and this converting process is called carbonization, and the converting process is done on during that period is called Carboniferous age. Okay, next, composition. It mainly consists of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and small amount of nitrogen, and sulfur are also present. Varieties. There are three main varieties of coal which vary in different carbon content. They are, okay, don't we don't want it. Destructive distillation of coal. The process of heating coal in the absence of air at a temperature of 1000 Celsius is called destructive distillation of coal. So, what is this? The process of heating coal. We are heating the coal. Okay, we can see in this picture. Wait. Okay, this is the burner, right? Now, um, the boiling tube, water. There are these is systematic, like mm, just the powder. 1 minute. Ah, this is a powdered coal. The coal stones, the hard rocks is powdered and kept under above the burner. And this tube is a burning tube, and the water this dissolves ammonia to form ammonical liquid. Here, this is the ammonia. This is water which dissolve the coal tar into ammonia. This coal tar has ammonia, and it will dissolve in this process, and coal gas is released. You know, coal gas is also a thing to burn. It's also a fossil fuel. The coal gas is known as coal gas. So, the products obtained during this process are coke, coal gas, coal tar, ammonium compounds. So, these four bar we get 200 nearly 200 substances, but the main substances are coke, coal gas, coal tar, and ammonium compounds. So, coke. The residue left behind when destructive distillation. After the destructive distillation, what is meant by destructive distillation? We've seen before. Answer me. What does mean by destructive distillation of coal? The answer is the process of heating coal in absence of air at temperature of 1000 Celsius is called destructive distillation of coal. Okay. Coke. I have a thought that I typed Google, I searched in Google that Coke, one of the Coke, it's not the Coke, but there are two Cokes. One Coke is made by Coke, used to make Coca-Cola. So, Coca-Cola is a Coke, prepared one substance of it is Coke. Not this Coke, it's different, totally different. On that Coke, it is a drug, illegal sales of drug, that Coke powder. So, okay, we don't want that and all. Come to this chapter. This is different Coke. Don't imagine these two. This is different Coke. This Coke is after the process of destructive distillation of coal. The Coke is remains and it is an almost pure of carbon. Coke is pure of carbon. How can you identify it is having a carbon or not? My question is, how can you identify that a substance is having Coke or not? It's so simple. When you burn a substance, when it's burned, that substance having carbon, then it will be surely burned. If it's not burning, then it does not having carbon. So it is a good fuel and burns with no smoke. It's not no smoke. It's a good fuel. I accept it. And burns with no smoke is wrong. It burns with less smoke compared to other fuels. What? It is a good fuel and burns with less smoke compared to other fuels. If do you ever seen that a motor bicycle has some gas? It leaves some gas behind it, and the container where which it leaves gas is known as silencer. So that the gas is smoke. It's known as smoke, but in this it leaves less amount of smoke. It is also used to residue metal oxides to get the metals, and it helps to polishing the metals. Okay, next, coal gas. It is a mixture of hydrogen, methane, carbon monoxide, and other gases. Coal gas is the mixture. We seen this, yes? The coal gas by releasing coal tar with water boiling and the boiling of powdered coal. These two combined, this result and this result is combined. This result and this result is combined and form coal gas. Okay, next, my question is, how many substances is included in coal gas? Don't see the answer. Okay, my answer is hydrogen, methane, carbon monoxide, and some other gases. These are mixture of unprepared coal gas. It is earlier used for domestic cooking and lighting. The earlier coal gas is used in 17th century, 18th century, 19th century, and even 20th century. I don't know about 20th century. It is used in 19th century up to. The coal gas is very cheap on that day, but today it's so costly. You can see that the petroleum rate is changed per day. Next, coal tar. It is a stick gaseous liquid. The coal tar is used to make roads, but today they are using different types of tar to cover to use to make the road. But in the starting, when the invention of road, they used mud, clay, and now before in 17th sorry in 20th century they use coal tar, and now they using different compounds. Okay, coal tar, it is a black cruel, and it is a mixture of stones, that blue crystal stones, blue metal stones, etc. And it's a thick liquid. It contains several carbon compounds. It having carbon like it can be burnt. But when they make a road, the coal tar can't be burnt because they use some other substances which to prevent the burning, and it is mainly used for road construction. I told you no. And it is also used to make pesticides, explosives, synthetic fiber, perfumes, naphthalene balls to repel moths and insects, dyeing the paints. Naphthalene balls, you all heard about it, which we insert it into our almari, the clothes where which we kept in. It is also called as kapoud. Okay. And that coal tar is also not used in road construction. It also used to prepare perfumes, naphthalene balls, and pesticides, and dyes, and like paints, the oily paints, etc. Petroleum or crude oil. Crude oil or petroleum is a black liquid which is a mixture of several hydrocarbons formed from buried dead sea organisms. So here you can see this picture. It be clear. Okay. See here in the picture, the top, the gas in the pink color, it's written gas now. This gas is so lightweight compared to oil. So it is on the top, and the oil compared to water, it is lightweight. So it is on second, and compared to oil and gas, the water is so heavy density, so it is at the third last part. The wells is used to get off it from the under of earth. Petroleum is a crude oil or the crude oil like a black color substances. You may think how the crude oil black color means petrol is in brown color. You may think, but the crude oil is in black color. After refining it, we get it brown color as a petrol to our motorbikes and cars. And it is a mixture of several hydrocarbons formed from buried dead sea organisms. You know that crude oil is mainly get from under the sea. Okay. Second,